Information on COVID-19 seems to be everywhere, but if you're like me, I had a hard time compiling it into how I should apply recommendations to me, to my clinic, to my patients. So as your president, I felt it was my responsibility to gather recommendations from the CDC, the state, and other physicians and management within Forefront and deliver them to you. Right now, my biggest concern is overreaching state health departments. The primary goal of the CDC and the state is not to keep business going as usual, to focus on continuity of care of patients, to keep us working in clinic. That's our focus. Their focus is to prevent spread. The state of Indiana had its first confirmed case. Every person who came into contact with the patient is quarantined for 2 weeks, even if asymptomatic. That means if they saw you for a skin check on Monday and were diagnosed positive later in the week, you could potentially be quarantined for 2 weeks. Your clinic shut down for 2 weeks. If, however, you were wearing protective mask and goggles during the patient visit, the state would not quarantine you. You could continue working in clinic. We know this is how Indiana is reacting, but each state is different. And most states don't have set guidelines published. So I am being safe and using Indiana's guidelines as the worst case scenario. There are not standardized guidelines on how we as dermatologists should react, but I'm going to give you my recommendation, inform you what my clinic is doing. This is not a policy or a mandate from Forefront. You know better than that. We let our physicians choose what is best for their clinic. Full autonomy still reigns. This is my recommendation and the task force's recommendation. In Manitowoc, to avoid unnecessary shutdown, we are wearing N95 masks and glasses with side protection. Clinics without N95 masks, we recommend wearing surgical masks and glasses for all staff and receptionists. We have marketing pieces for all patients so they are not alarmed by masks and glasses, and so far it's going pretty well. Patients are understanding and actually appreciate that we are taking their health and their continuity of care seriously. If you're still with me, I want to reiterate 2 points. These are recommendations, not policies, not mandates, after compiling system by system and state recommendations. Number 2, I'm not personally wearing this equipment to prevent infection of myself because I believe this virus will be everywhere and just a new form of the flu for the future. I am wearing it to prevent my state from mandating me to stay home for 2 weeks, from shutting down my clinic. So in closing, this is an evolving process and recommendations will also evolve. We want you to be armed with the most recent and comprehensive information and be able to play defense against the potential worst case scenario. We will have a new video update from our Task Force Physicians Weekly, and we will also send out more comprehensive recommendations for your clinic through your regional managers. Don't hesitate to contact me with any questions. And remember, these are recommendations, not a Forefront policy.